Okay, guys, welcome. Seems like we're gonna be able to get a round three match that is going underway, and this time it's gonna be catx versus JRCP. Gonna be an interesting one actually to have catx into our match coming this way. In the meantime, JRCP playing the Terran as well. An interesting stuff. To begin with, we'll see how this is going to pan out here for our two players. And yeah, it's like out of nowhere, we're like, gonna be getting into a game. Sure, that's fine. Let's get into this upcoming match. Sounds good in the hood. catx on the right hand side versus JRCP on the left. Oh no, it's a little bit different, but here are our maps already. catx taking the first one on Eternal Empire. So we are going straight into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, in this PVT. So yes, catx rather is on the left hand side, JRCP on the right. And on Everdream yet again, so we are gonna see another instance in this map. Hopefully, it's not all about DTs this time into this upcoming game. But hey, it's been a fun one so far here in the quarantine tournaments as we move on in yet again into an upcoming match. Round 3, going our way yet again, and seems like our first semifinal has been set at the same time. Tag once gonna be versus G-Boy in that semifinal. We will cast the action of that later on after this match. And hey, it is what it is. Mr. XtinC, what's gonna be going on for this upcoming game?
So it's another PVT. So it's gonna be another interesting game. I'll tell you that because one game is platinum and one player is diamond, but their MMR is not that too far apart. So that means we might see a close game here.
Yeah, we'll see how this is gonna go. And yeah, just Everdream, we talked about it before. There are really those spots for the siege tanks if JRCP can get things to work in the first place. Hopefully these guys can actually load on into our game. And it's a very standard map. It has all these nooks, crannies, and spots that are very familiar to many of these players. And Everdream is basically one of the newest map in the ladder pool. We got 3 new additions like a few weeks back. It was Golden Wall, it was Purity and Industry, and we have Everdream as well. Of the 3, Mr. XtinC, which one's your favorite?
Um, Everdream. Everdream is my favorite. I like Everdream to be my go-to map, especially if I'm down, or it can be my leading map for a series.
I see. Why so? Is it because of how standard it is?
How standard it is, it mimics my game style. I like to play a standard game, sometimes a little aggressive, but it can set up a pretty good defense. At the same time, you can pretty defend 4 bases to 5 bases really relatively easy.
Yeah, I
It
see. I
can
see.
set up entire macro game. So that's why I hope we can see a very macro-ish game here. But let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's finally get the load on in and let's get into the action. We do have our Protoss player with a 1 map advantage. There you go. Let's get into the action. Introducing here on the bottom left of Everdream LE. It's gonna be the red Protoss that is vindicated, or as we saw in the bracket, catx. And his opponents on top right, the blue Terran, this time gonna be JRCP. Interesting matchup. Which one of these 2 players has the rank advantage, Mr. XtinC?
Catx. Catx is the diamond, if I recall correctly.
And JRCP
So
is on the high platinum end.
yep, platinum.
Yeah, so yes, catx playing on the defensive end yet again. Here we go with the gateway, and pretty much just a pretty standard way to deal with Terran in the first place. You make these walls, you make these nooks, you make these crannies, alleyways to make sure that the Hellions are stuck in traffic in any kind of assault. But in the meantime, JRCP giving chase to the probe will go for the standard racks out in the front. And it seems like everything
This
is a-okay at the very start of Everdream.
Yeah, this is an early scout by the Protoss. He doesn't want to get proxied or anything. So he wants to take a safety precaution here with that early scout.
Yeah, Protoss running around with this probe. And you were telling me a story earlier on, just about the snoring thing. Sure, tell me
Yeah.
about it. Tell me about it. Tell everyone about it. So, what's the snoring
We were
about?
playing like we were playing. I think we are 4 players there on Discord, and we were playing custom games. Then Puppy is streaming there. Then
Mhm.
we kind of heard someone snoring on stream.
So who was it?
And one of the players is already is has fallen asleep. It was Zyronak, one of the EXO players, all too, Charon.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it was just so funny, like people are hearing him snore. It's so loud too.
A resident sleeper right there, but it seems like it's gonna be a slow opening here for Everdream. Sometimes you do get stuck in a slumber and you just dream forever. It feels like forever. You wake up like, what the hell's been going on in my life? What's been happening? But it seems like what's happening here in the game, we do get a 2-minute expansion actually here from our boy catx. He did play a little more into tech first before really going into the Nexus points. Building on a little minerals as well, he seems like that he does want to go for more and more work here for the Protoss side. In the meantime, for JRCP, he does have the Orbital Command set on up already. Going for the second base, will get his natural expansion working out a little earlier than his opponents.
Yep, and it's very standard opening here for both guys. I have a question for you, Dax.
Oh,
What is your race? What race do you
Protoss.
play?
Protoss. I was actually gonna talk about it, but the game suddenly
Yeah.
started. But Protoss, mates. I've always played Protoss since StarCraft 1. I've always enjoyed basically building Archons when I was younger. So it really just stuck with me. And then I like Blink abilities. I used to play a hardcore Blink Stalker micro macro game back in Wings of Liberty. Now I do what my usual build right now is Immortal
So,
Sentry,
so
honestly.
you're like Dash. You're
No,
like
no,
the
no, no. I'm
old
not
Dash.
hard stuck in one strategy, okay? I don't stay with one strategy for years and years of playing. I just like being able to micro Blink Stalker. And Blink Stalker was really strong back in the day. It was the only thing to really do as Protoss back in the day, unless you played like Psy Storm and the lightweight
Yeah.
items.
I think
But
I think Stalker is one of the main damage dealers of Protoss before
I
on
mean,
Wings of Liberty.
yeah, the Stalker is still a good supporting unit, but I feel like it's not as potent as it was. If you're really good at the micro, it's very effective to keep them alive, but at the same time, they really just find their niche in a low mobility and a low fire support along the way. So yeah, Sentry Immortal, just a good way to go about things as well. And I do
And
enjoy the fact that Sentries do have hallucination immediately, so that's the thing.
if you're gonna look at the turn, he's gonna go get a cloak banshee here
Oh,
opening
oh,
for the turn.
dude, we just started talking about Wings of Liberty and we get the Banshee opening yet again. Come on, guys, come on.
Yeah.
This is such an old
Classic
school
opening.
thing. Classic opening indeed. But hey, the opening has been buffed to a sense. You can get a few more upgrades for the Banshee
Yeah.
to make them a long-term investment. But at the same time, if they do get countered early, it kind of just tapers off, falls off, and you go into something else. So that's what I don't like about the Banshee itself, and immediately gets scouted. Now this has to be catx looking for a little more detection, looking to make sure that he can put a stop to this upcoming Banshee. Will he go for Observer? He does have the Robo Facility at it. In the meantime, the Hallucinated Phoenix and the Observer here for the red hand side, spotting out basically the double pumped upgrades on the Engineering Bay.
Yep. He needs to make at least a battery here on the mineral line. Save these probes because two shots of banshee kills a probe. That's basically it.
That's basically it. Like, I feel like the Banshee is, it taper off, especially when you can just build Widow Mines instead. Sure, it's a little more investment because you need Medivacs and Widow Mines at the same time, but it's a very easy transition to what pretty much JRCP is going on already. He's going for a bio opening. He is gonna go for a very, very Marine, potentially even Marauder heavy composition as
Yeah.
Stimpaks +1s are coming his way. And I feel like it's a little pointless to have gone into the Banshee when he could have
Oh my
gone
God.
for a more standard drop. But hey, it is what it
Look
is.
at this,
Observer gonna be there.
Daks.
Yo.
We are having we have a third command center and a third nexus on our game.
Oh,
You know what that means. You know what that means.
macro in my
Yeah.
quarantine tournament? Say it ain't so. What a surprise. But
And
look,
here comes the
the
banshees.
Banshees. It seems like the ghost gonna be wailing on down, getting the hits onto these probes. You may have spoken too soon, Dash. What are we gonna be getting here? As this
What
is
are
just the
builders?
Banshees moving on route. No observers in position. Free hits right here, right now from
my goodness, there's a lot of
JRCP. And look at that, XtinC really wailing for those pros. Finally, the observer comes. Good thing they produce pretty quickly, but the damage has been done.
Oh my goodness, 21 workers killed. That is so a lot.
Workers eviscerated. 22 workers actually already taken down, looking for more, and it seems like you have jinxed our Protoss player, Mr. XtinC, because he's gonna be dashing on the outside, going to go for the attack. We'll try to go for a trade, but seems like it's a little too late in this instance. He does have charge lot and +1 on the ground weaponry, but as soon as the siege tank gets the shots on, as well as the fire support from these infantry, you might just call it.
The Terran just needs to stay alive. That's basically it.
That's pretty much it, and it looks really good here for JRCP. catx has one real base working. He has gotten photon cannons finally. He does put an Archon as well to be a bulky units. But apparently
he retreats.
Dude,
does someone want that?
Okay, are we actually gonna get 10 minutes? That's the real question. But I'm trying to say the Banshees all about, you know, I just hate this. Whatever, it works. It works here and now. Zealots looking to charge on in yet again. Siege tanks right now in behind the Immortal, attacking things up. And apparently it seems like the Protoss able to just destroy everything out in front. What happened there to JRCP? Overextending just a little bit. And catx surprising with a warp cycle up on top, destroying everything here for JRCP. His things were not in position properly. He wasn't in range for the fire supports. And it's just gonna be a force pull here and now. SCVs trying to go for the brawl. They're dying left, right, and center. Warp Prism right now, ready for another cycle to go on, even though vindicated here. catx gonna be able to only get 3 Zealots and a Stalker with all his money in the bank. That's all he's got right now. Oh, he makes a mistake though. The Warp Prism gonna be transforming a little too early, but he can go for another cycle yet again. Immortal right now tanking up in front. He needs to get the Warp Cycle in again. He also needs to put that Immortal into back the Warp Prism. It's all about the micro here and now. Seems like the Immortal gone from this game right here, right now. Shots keeping on coming. Overall cycle yet again. Things looking really dicey here on both fronts.
If the Terran holds here, you might have a chance because look at the base. There's no probes. These Benjis are killing everything. But the base is gone.
Yeah, it's only that base that has the photon cannons. The Warp Prism gonna go down. It seems like the defense is in order, and that looked really tight here for JRCP. He played on the outside. He played away from the siege tank. And his infantry, as well as his things on the high ground, getting cut down in their prime. Now the Banshee making sure that these pylons will get shut down. Artosis pylons dying into these spherical ranges, and all this tech being shut down. catx has nothing on the third base.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for one more push, and I think the Pro is gonna run out of steam. This Terran, he's messing Marines. Look, he has 3 CC, he has mules. What does Protoss have?
What does Protoss have? He has a lot of unpowered buildings in the first place. And in the meantime, still the Banshee's having a field day, but catx is not relenting. I like this here. He's really trying. He knows he's behind. But the tank gonna get caught! The charge loss gets out in the face. The impact gonna be putting that siege tank in a pretty precarious situation. Speeding on it yet again. The Archon gets traded in such a bad way. Both sides losing vital units. And that is a GG called. Oh, there you go. JRCP.
We have a 1-1.
Yeah, all tied up. Finally, gonna get a map. Number 3.
Number 3. Oh my god. Those Banshees are the MVP here, man.
You know what the real MVP is? The fact that there was no observer or cannons. Observer, you know, a little an observer would be nice in that point.
I remember seeing an observer earlier.
It was on the base. It was on the Terran's base, unfortunately, and it wasn't in position. Highly unfortunate. There was barely any pull whatsoever as well, and catx pretty much just allowing those probes to die in such a sad spots. But it is what it is, and the economic damage was enough. It still looked really dicey though. JRCP kind of threw it at the tail end, really playing away from his damage dealers in the first place, but it is how it ended. And there you go, guys. We are finally gonna get a map number 3 in the quarantine tournament. catx versus JRCP. Both sides getting one map apiece, and we will actually go into purity and industry.
Oh my god, my most hated map on the map pool.
So why so? Is it because of the inhibition zones? Is it because of the close range from the main bases? What's up? What do you hate about it, purity and industry?
It's just so bad. Like I hate the map. Um the way it's good that it's big, but with all the choke points, with how the map works, the high grounds, the blockings, it is just so hard to play in it. To
You
be
know what
honest.
that map really reminds me of? It was one of those really old Wings of Liberty maps again. The one with the island on the top right. It's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
that like junk station or whatever it was called, and that used to be one of my favorite maps when I was really starting out of StarCraft 2 due to the fact that I only played the basic ass Void Ray Void Ray composition there. Like besides Blinkstalker, you have Void Ray. It's like one of the two. You do
Yeah.
one of the two. It's if you can't really micro, you just mass Void Rays. That's how you play StarCraft 2, ladies and gentlemen. But here at Purity Industry, I did like how they balanced it out with the inhibition zone. So it is a two-fold thing. First things first, it slows down your air units. Sure, it is still close, and sure, air units are still gonna work if you try to go around it or at just go through it and decide, hey, I can still make it. But this makes the retreat very difficult.
And the micro
Usually,
potential is
yeah.
harder
Yeah,
because it
usually
slows up.
these air units are on a one-way trip because if you go back in the inhibition zone, that's like one or two extra hits that you will take, and air units aren't the tankiest thing in the world. They might go down in a situation like that. Yeah,
Look
so
at Twitch.
yep. But Mr. Roboto for Mr. XtinC here. But he was talking about early on how the chokes happen, and I see that. I've seen a few non-air oriented games from Purity and Industry, and really the issue is on the grasslands, how tight they can be. For a Zerg player, I usually notice that they actually go for the surround first over trying to go for the attack due to the narrow nature of these battlegrounds. So it does get difficult for Zerg players. Speaking of Zerg players, actually, unfortunately, we did not get any of our Zerg players to move past round number 2. So unfortunately, it really will be a Terran versus Protoss race here in the gold to diamond bracket in SCPH quarantine. But it has go to show that this is what the community is comfortable with, as we are gonna be getting into game number 3 very shortly.
We're waiting for you, Daks. We're waiting for you, Daks.
Oh, we're waiting on me? Is it me who's not in?
Yep.
Oh, okay, give me a sec. Invite me real quick. That's really weird. I think I bugged out and the map that tried to download again and again. But can you invite me to the game, dude? That's the worst part. The caster can't get in. It's not even about the players, guys. It's about the caster trying to get in. So okay, the caster needs to get in. The caster is it's the guy broadcasting everything, you know. So you know that's how it is sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. So first things first, unfortunately we weren't able to actually catch game number 1 in the first place. We actually hopped into this game starting game number 2. So it really goes to show JRCP able to make things happen with those banshees, but at the same time it really catx had a few chances to take it there, and the real question now is, can JRCP do it again, or will catx be able to just outpower his opponent? Seems like though we are having a few technical issues, so we'll be right back. I'll fix things up real quick, and we'll get into game number 3 very shortly. Okay, guys, we've done it. We can actually go back to their initial map if they want to. If they don't want to play Golden Wall, right? It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, guys. So We have done it. We'll explained, and we'll explain everything on the way. But when life gives you lemons, you just gotta make lemonade out of a few things. And we're gonna be streaming a stream. It's basically a clean VOD setup. What's gonna be happening is that XtinC's gonna be streaming it through his channel, through the Discord rather, and we will be watching that perspective from him instead. So yeah, it's gonna be time to get into the action. Game number 3 coming our way between catx as well as JRCP, and apparently our map gonna be very different. It's gonna be Golden Wall instead. So at the same time, we are gonna be troubleshooting these issues that suddenly showed up in our tournament. We were doing so well with all the maps, and then suddenly that happened, and it just kind of blew up from there. But hey, it's gonna look a little uglier, that's for sure. But big shout out to XtinC to allowing this to happen, making things happen. And holy crap, look at those options. That's an overlay we don't use at all. But whatever, let's get into this one.
On the bottom right,
I also want to ask real quick before you intro them, how do you play the game like this?
what do you mean how to play the game like this?
How do you play the game with the chug as well as the quality like this?
I don't know actually.
I don't know how this guys, Masters player here, making it happen with options like this. Well played, Mr. XtinC. But let's introduce our players here, and now you got control of pretty much everything on this side,
Yeah.
Mr. XtinC. So take us away.
Introducing our players from the bottom right, we have Vindicated. And Daks, take it away.
And his opponents on the left-hand side, it's going to be JRCP. So again, you guys are wondering what's with the huge drop of quality. Suddenly, we've had major technical issues out of nowhere, and the map's all getting basically corrupted at the source. So instead of making these players wait on, we are going to go into Golden Wall here and now between our Protoss and Terran. It's going to look very different on to the stream, but hey, it is what it is, and hopefully we don't have these issues tomorrow, so we'll be making sure that everything is going to be fine and dandy on that end. But question is right now, what is going to be the plan here and now for catx? He is going to go for his standard defensive strategy yet again. In the meantime, Proxy Racks here and now from JRCP. He's going to look to make things happen.
Like he said, he got one game win already. He just needs one more game. I'm gonna go for the best build I can do. But look at this. Oh no. Good scout.
Yeah,
good scout here by Vindicated.
That is exactly what he needs to find to make sure that everything is gonna be a-okay. So no fret, guys. We are gonna go back to our normal prod after this game. We just don't want to make these guys wait a little longer due to the fact that their momentum really getting stifled due to technical issues. But a game is a game and a match is a map. So here we have catx right now. We'll be looking to go for that warp gate research, very essential here, as he's also going for a 2-base scenario. And on Golden Wall, it's very interesting that neither side really going on the other side of the wall where most of the rich resources are at in the first place.
Here's the first person view of JCP microwing these Reapers.
Damn, look at that camera work from Mr. XtinC. How you guys doing? What do you think about this sudden change in the first place? But the Reaper getting some really good scouting information all throughout, moving over to the south side. Maybe a few hits here, there, and everywhere, making sure everything is gonna be fine and dandy. Warp gates, as well as a chrono boosted out unit. That's gonna be a stalker coming your way just to try and mitigate the damage here from the Reapers. So that barracks pretty nearby. Dude, those barracks pretty much nearby. More Reapers actually, mass reapening coming our way into this one.
But with the shield battery here, I think this is gonna be a hold. He can't possibly attack here because these stalkers deal extra damage versus Reapers.
Yeah, it's just so easy to pick them off one by one, and the shield battery just allowing them to sustain as much as possible in behind. But now it's time for the robo facility, thankfully being built by JRCP as well. In the meantime, Bunker gonna be going there at once one more instance. It's always the defensive bunker that we're seeing here in the goal to dive. It's just such a good way for them to make sure that they will sustain and survive. The Reapers right now. Holy crap, that's a lot of Reapers into the mineral line, getting as many shots as possible. In the meantime, here we go with another warp cycle, and I really don't understand.
No,
I don't understand how you play like this, honestly. How are you masters with a performance like this?
What's wrong with the overlay?
No, like with how your computer is performing.
Well...
And you're Zerg! You're Zerg, so you even have more units. It's really impressive, honestly. But, you know what is gonna be impressive?
I play on low settings.
You play on low settings. This is lower than low, man. This is like actual blocks happening. But the Reapers right now are gonna get in position yet again. Stalkers giving chase as much as possible. It's very difficult right now for these Reapers to find it.
I think that's the last of the Reaper harass. He kills a lot of Reapers there.
Yes, it is what it is.
10 workers killed. So is that enough?
Is that enough
to handle this Protoss? Is that enough?
That's the real question. And again, guys, I do wonder why all the maps won't suddenly load. So if you guys have any information on that, I much appreciate, so we can move into the semifinals with no technical issues and not with a choppy frame rate like this. But right here, right now, we are gonna get the +1 onto the ground weaponry. Robo-Bay actually here for our Protoss.
Colossus or Disruptors on play here for the Protoss. This is the first time we're gonna see on stream.
We haven't seen too much of that tech in the first place, but we'll finally see how this is gonna go. Cloak, bomb the tech lab, Banshees yet again, something that our Terran player JRCP so reliant on. But alright, an observer in position.
Observer's here, he saw it with the hallucinated Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see if this Banshees can gonna get extra damage like the first game, the second game rather.
Yeah.
But right now, look, Cannons on base. He doesn't want to die versus base.
He's already on it. He understands that where he made a mistake there. Having no detection in his own base, just really putting him in such a harm's way. But the Banshee gonna be on the safer south side. Very easy to move around on Golden Wall with all the mineral patches in the way. It's very interesting. Neither side has really mined that up as of yet, nor has the Terran decided to bring command center and float it over down below. What do you think about the thing about in Golden Wall? What do you think about this whole setup on the low ground?
This is like a double-edged sword. Like, you can place your expansion here. It's extra defense since this is the only entrance to your main. But if he able to mine out these minerals, he'll be able to attack this pretty easily, and also your main.
Yeah, there's like a ramp right there that you can actually easily go on in the first place. And one more time, guys, so we have huge technical issues with the maps not loading at all on the main end. So we are just going with this game just to go and make sure that these guys get the game on so we can move over to the semifinals in a proper state. But catx right now trying to give chase. In the meantime, here we do have the Terran still using the south side of the map as much as possible. JRCP is just like so cheeky, honestly. And JRCP with casual Marine out in front, having a stroll, sees the Protoss base, is like, nope, I'm out here, time to go home.
And the first Colossus is out. Here we go. And Thermal Lance on its way.
Yeah, extending the range. Extra range makes him a lot more safe in behind. And those Colossi can be pretty effective against a pretty Marine Marauder heavy composition. Just melt them down with that splash damage. Look at
this service getting a lot.
Yeah, that's Observer is getting so much value. But you know what else is going to get a little value here? It's going to be the Banshee going for that pylon. But here comes the bulk, and it seems like our Protoss is going to be shrugging that off. Oh! Whoa! Nexus! Onto the rich side. Wow. Actually going for the mineral field.
So this gold base is going to give him extra income here. But it is a little risky since this is near the Terran's base, and this push is coming in a lot sooner than I think. Here comes a push with the medevac and the Marauders and the Marines.
And okay. I think your computer died. I don't think I can handle it anymore.
Wait, what?
No, it's okay. It's finally moved. It finally moved. You know, I just wanna. I feel so nostalgic, honestly, seeing
Uh-huh.
StarCraft 2 like this, seeing it but ugly, reminds me of when I did have a lower rig system. I for a while, I did have a 640 for like years, like years longer than it should. I remember playing
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 like this on a lower resolution. My frame rates weren't this bad though, that's for sure.
Mm-mm.
I found a way to make it uglier with some text files and stuff, but you know, it's a little nostalgia. We all started from somewhere, and I know you guys expect a different kind of prod, especially from my end. It's been a while since we've improved a lot in all things Overwatch, StarCraft, and everything. But if things like that happen and we just want to keep the integrity of the tournament going, well, gotta make some sacrifices. But don't worry again, we'll be back with our standard later on. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what the hell some of those blobs are. Eventually, I figure out, oh, there's a Marine, there's some Marauders, we got some Zealots, some Archons, shield batteries, looking like units for some real reason. But it's a cluster here for catx. He's making sure his rich side is protected as much as possible. He wants to get that mineral income economy advantage. But onto the natural comes the Terran instead.
Here's the run by. And can he do a lot of damage here? This big.
Yeah, pushing on forward onto the main base he goes, chopping along. It's a slideshow here and now, but these infantry trying to slide on over to the right hand side. And in the
The thing
meantime,
we're gonna get away with it.
yeah, they're gonna able to get away with it. It is what it is. The medevac will be able to get on out to JRCP deciding, I'm gonna go to the top right of this. We're gonna buy this one in time though. It seems like our what's the income? I don't see it. Do we get an income tab real quick here? I feel like the Protoss really ahead in many regards. Doesn't know his hotkeys, guys. Not a real observer. But you can
My
see.
bad.
No, it's okay. I'm just memeing because this has become basically half a meme. Well, we're really giving credence to the actions of the players, but in terms of the game itself, it is very difficult to watch even my end. So, with the rich middle field, it seems like the Protoss is able to edge it out in terms of that money, especially against the mules. But as I say that, the Terran has already expanded onto third base, and that should be money dropping on down for
Warp Prism here.
yeah, for our blue Terran with the Warp Prism right now. Looking to move on over as well.
I think he's gonna do a two-prong attack.
Yeah, it's all
He's
about.
gonna go for the Warp Prism at the back and this main army in front. Let's see.
Let's see how this is going to go as
Oh.
the Protoss trying to concave on over. In the meantime, here comes JRCP dropping a few of those infantries on the other side.
Does he
That's-
know? Never mind. He doesn't know.
He's gonna try to march a few things over and surprise his opponents. And this game has really gone long. Highly unfortunate this is the game that goes long, okay? Highly unfortunate indeed.
It's
But
12-minute mark, dude.
Yeah,
and
we
here
go-
comes the harass.
look at that from behind. This is really interesting about this map because
Yeah, but here comes the attack. Here's a big attack.
a huge bulk of an army here from the Protoss, just throwing everything, caution into the wind.
Oh my goodness.
Supplies
oh,
dropping.
No, there's the storm. Storm plus Colossus, man.
A storm even
And
connecting
Archons.
there. Liberators going down. And it's time for catx to just march on forward and just take this
Here comes
victory
the
here.
1A. This is a go 1A here. Protoss is so OP. And SCPH massacre. Oh my goodness.
What a thing to say. Protoss is so OP. Okay, big noted right there, mates. But on to the main base we go. Finally, this is looking like it might be the beginning of the end. catx having his opponent on the ropes. JRCP trying to harass on the main base on the other side, but focusing on the Protoss damage right now. Warp Prism is set on up, no one taking care of it whatsoever. And this has to be game by this point. So the Terran really having nothing left. Supply dwindling on down. The dreams of JRCP to make it to the semifinals not gonna happen. And catx pretty handily taking a storming lead onto this game, you could pretty much say that is game set and match there. Thank you guys for bearing with us as we will be fixing things up on our end after this match. But now it's time to basically watch the beginning of the end. GG is
GG
called.
is called.
Victory
Vindicated.
goes over to catx. There you go, guys. We done. We have slogged through that. That's for sure. Highly unfortunate of what happened, but keys to that game, it really was the fact that catx was able to utilize that third base very efficiently for so long, and at the same time he was able to just outmaneuver his opponents through the normal straightaways. He was looking to play this outside, looking to be pesky with anything and everything he was gonna be up to, but at the tail end, it was like, hey, I can just A-move in, I can just destroy my opponents with the bigger and better army, and Golden Wall goes in favor of catx. Very well done there. XtinC, what do you think about that match?
I think Vindicated showed that his experience as a player there. Like he just snowballed the game pretty quick. After he knows that he's gonna go Banshee again. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go defense up and then try to create my army and then move around the map. That's
Okay,
it.
yeah, so we'll be right back, guys. We will get things done, move into semi-final number 1 or 2, and we'll be back very shortly.